So an artist was harassed off of social media because someone wrongly accused them of using AI. Okay, so, this is insane. A legitimate artist bullied out of existence for what reason? At what point does this kind of stuff start to deserve actual consequences? This platform is so unbelievably hostile to artists at this point, I don't even know what to say. So this is a person who made a comment, and I guess they retweeted. This is, I think, Mitsuri from Demon Slayer. She's one of the Hashira. And could be a different name. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, so somebody drew an image of her. And anyway, they've tried to circle all these little things and explain that everything was made by AI. Big surprise that they were wrong. And this is what's been happening a lot recently, is that AI has been, what do you call it? AI has been harder to detect, so you're having more false positives. So what's happening now is that you have people that think that they're smart enough to detect AI, but they actually aren't. And so what they're doing is they're just looking at something and saying, oh, well, this looks like AI, so it must be AI, right? We've all seen this happen. And so it's a drawing, what the fuck? Well, no, you need to understand that. So like on art Twitter, it would be better if you posted the N-word rather than used AI. Like, if you posted the 14 words of the white supremacist credo, you would get less hate on art Twitter than if you posted an AI photo. You could post a picture with Hitler and say W, and you would get less hate. Well, actually, if the picture was AI of Hitler, it would be way worse. Yes, bro, these people hate AI. AI is pretty much the worst thing that's ever happened to them, right? Yeah, exactly. It's their personal 9/11. Yes, they're very, very unhappy about AI. And so, obviously, people see that. And so, I want to talk about something that it's becoming more prevalent now, and I think that more people are starting to realize it. I think that Twitter, because now you can get paid for tweets, this has always been going on, but like now it's much more transparent. There is a massive ecosystem around creating content that is just bullshit, negative garbage in order to shit on people. That's it. And I think Twitter is a great place for that to happen. It happens all the times. So this person sees that everybody doesn't like AI art. So what do? Well, they circle and they, demonize this person and they make them look like they're using AI art so they can get shit on. Like shit on woke games? Absolutely. Yep, you're absolutely right. I do the same thing and I'll do it every fucking day. And that's fine. But at the end of the day, this is the reason why people are doing it. And you admitted it? Sure, I don't care. Like, the thing is that, and I'll make one thing very clear, guys. I know that there's people that try to catch me and stuff. Whatever the worst opinion that you have of me is, you're probably right. You're probably right. I'm not going to fight you on your predisposition against me. If you don't like things that I've said and you're trying to, like, catch me in something, just assume that every bad thing that you heard about me is true. I'm going to keep doing it. It doesn't matter. That's it. So cry and bitch and get mad all you want, but nothing's going to change. And so anyway, let's go back to the rest of it. And anyway... So, I'm wrong, I'm so sorry. So this person apologized now for the post. And so, additional context. This user made a big mistake in confusing a real artist with AI, and this ended with the artist being bullied and closing their account. Well, there we go. Misled by the closed comments and dark account. Now I want to know what happened. I hate how violently critical all of this bottled art has made me. I love how even whenever you're apologizing for completely mislabeling somebody and totally misrepresenting them, you still find a way to manage to make it about you and about how it's somebody else's fault that you did something stupid. And so you can tell this is 23, more like 13. And so, yeah, it's still not their fault, right? It's always, yeah, may you receive the energy you send out tenfold for sure. Yeah, the KNY one, that wasn't AI. Many comments are saying the account is real, but went dark because the artist is actively deleting. It's impossible to know whether things are AI or not. And I'm just going to go ahead and be honest. And I think that every person in the art community should just accept this. Just accept this. Because it's true. It doesn't matter whether you think that it should be true or not. It is simply true. AI has advanced in such an unfathomably fast way that 2 years ago, 1 year ago, when you could easily detect whether something was AI, nowadays you can't. 2 years ago, it was obvious that things are AI. Now, I bet we're looking at AI stuff all day, every day, constantly. And you don't notice it because it's done well. That's it. Nowadays, it's iffy. It is. It's completely iffy. And it's going to change all of the way that art is made. And there's nothing you can do to stop it. There's nothing you can do to change it. You can't cry. You can't bitch. You can't complain. You might get likes on Twitter for it, but reality is going to happen the same regardless of how many likes you get. And so you real? No, I'm not real either. I'm also AI. It's all AI. I've been AI for 3 years now. And so, yes. When are we getting Asmon AI? Well, you already have it in some cases. So yeah, people already do that themselves. And also, you don't even need Asmon AI. People make up shit that I say and they don't even need AI for it. And people believe it's real and they've been doing that for years. So I don't think that AI is really necessary for that. So anyway, it's only true for some art styles that are very defined by a clear aesthetic that can be used to train a model very well. Luckily, not all styles are like that. Let's say a generic anime style. I understand that some people think that they're going to be safe, and you're right. When a nuclear war happens and a nuclear winter occurs, the people that are in Australia maybe will be affected much later than the people that are in Shanghai or New York City. But the radiation will spread, and everyone will be affected ultimately. Even you with your special little... You've got your little special way of doing things. If you think that a machine can't do that, you are crazy. It's only a matter of time. So that's the way I see it. So yeah, basically, and this is what's going to happen. The solution for this, I'm going to tell you what the real solution for this is. The solution is that people need to stop taking social media so seriously. Most of the things that happen on social media, and by most, I mean 99.9%, people are recreationally offended. They don't really care about any of these issues in the first place. And the only thing that they're doing is they're posting about them because they're bored. It doesn't really matter to anyone whether these things are happening or not. And even this goes as high as like world events. Nobody really gives a shit about this stuff. People are sitting there in their air-conditioned house on their smartphone, and they're tweeting about how they want to save the world because maybe they have some sense of guilt because they live the most privileged life that anybody's ever lived in the history of humankind. Maybe there's a little bit of guilt there. And hey, maybe there should be. But the fact is that nobody really cares about this stuff. And it's true even with a lot of the stuff that I talk about too. Like, we like talking about it for entertainment value and for fun, but let's not act like it really matters. Like, who really cares if video games have black characters in them? Does anybody really give a shit about this? Does it really matter? Not really. No, you just don't play the game. Now, I think this is the case with almost everything. Most things are of no real consequence, but they're worth talking about because it's an interesting thought exercise, right? That's about it. Not really. Yeah, not really. And so, and that's the real black pill with a lot of this stuff on the internet, is that it's the same with Logan Paul or Mr. Beast or Donald Trump. Like, all of these people talking about, like, oh yeah, I hate this guy. Meanwhile, he's sitting right next to Obama and they're getting along like they've been old friends. It's all fake. It's all fake. Nobody really cares about this shit. People just put on a face for the public so they can be seen as a person who's a good person. That's it. And anyway, and also, here's another reason. It's that, and you guys know this, right? How many of you have told somebody you've told somebody about a problem that you're having, and they give you a really, really simple answer that is, like, completely devoid of the fact that they actually listened to what you were saying, or, like, they only understand a small component of it. So to them, the solution seems really simple, but it's actually way more complex, right? Yeah, for sure, of course. And sometimes in some cases, the answers are simple, but the you know, being able to do them is harder. But there are other things that are just more complex, and people just don't know all the pieces in play, right? And so I think that's the case with streamers too. Like, if you explain a situation or a problem that you have, and then you want people to understand, like, because they'll always put themselves in your shoes, and they're not going to understand the context behind what this problem is. They're only going to see it from, like, the narrow view that you give them. That's why I don't like talking about a lot of problems on my stream, like personal things. You know, every once in a while things leak through, but for the most part, I try to keep it to myself. And, you know, I view that as a form of respect to you guys, because I don't want to trauma dump. This isn't a diary. At the end of the day, everybody comes here to be entertained, to have fun, or at least to get pissed off for fun. And so, you know, why ruin the vibes? That's the way I see it. Anyway, so, yeah, and there you go also. They don't have to deal with the consequences of following their advice. Yes, true. Everybody always has advice on how somebody else should live their life. My point is, with all of that, is people need to stop taking the internet so seriously. You need to stop. A million losers on social media that don't like you doesn't mean a fucking thing. Here's the reality. If a million people randomly all around the world instantly died, the effect that it would have on your life is probably zero. Focus on yourself. There are thousands of other things that are more important than people getting mad at you on social media. Less than zero, yes. Or a net positive, yeah. And that's the extreme version. That's the extreme version. I feel like at the end of the day, somebody's opinion is of no consequence. The issue is people don't have anything else going on in their life. Yeah. And so, anyway, I think the problem is that people like this, there's an entire ecosystem around this behavior, and it's very weird, but I don't think it's really going to change, and I think it's just going to keep getting worse. After people see, and this is extremely common, people have been seeing a lot of this, basically like shitting on people for likes and for people to, you know, think that you're a good person on Twitter. Let's be fucking honest. They're doing it for attention, and that's it.